Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, everyone, for coming out today. It really is an incredible day for our franchise as we welcome DeWanna Bonner, who is one of the greatest players in WNBA history, to the Indiana Fever. I think when we talk about the greatest players in the history of the WNBA, DB doesn't get mentioned enough, but when you look at her resume, there are very few people that compare to all of the accomplishments that she has put on her resume thus far. She, with just 7 points, will become the third all-time leading scorer in WNBA history. Among active players, she is second in rebounds, steals, and three-pointers made. She has played in more playoff games than any player in the history of the WNBA, missing the playoffs only one time in her illustrious career. She has 2 WNBA championships, countless All-Stars, made it to the finals and semifinals on numerous occasions, including the last 2 years with Steph in Connecticut, and arguably, those were 2 of her best statistical years of her career. I like to tell DB often, she's like fine wine. She gets better with age. And what truly makes DB really special is her drive to win. This is my 3rd time having the opportunity to work alongside DB. And since her rookie season in 2009 in Phoenix, when you ask DB what is most important to her, the answer has never changed. I just want to win. And it's the same today as it was in 2009. And so we're so lucky to get this incredible basketball player to join the Indiana Fever. But I can tell you, I am equally as thrilled to have DeWanna Bonner, the person, join us. You guys are going to love getting to know her. She's an unbelievable mom to Callie and Demi, a tremendous teammate, and a really loyal friend. So DB, thank you for believing in our vision. Welcome to Fever.
Thank you. I'm not sure we have much more to say after that. But we'll start with Scott.
Scott Agness, Fieldhouse Files. DeWanna, I'm curious, you've only played for 2 other teams, so what factored into making another change now, and where do you feel like you can be most impactful to a younger team that's on the rise at the moment?
This decision was kind of selfish. I thought about me, my family. My kids are 3.5 hours up the road, so that was huge. So just get an opportunity to spend a little bit more time with them. And also joining a team that's just impressive. I think everybody's seen the second half of their season, and it was an unbelievable season. And I just felt like they had a dynamic core, and I just wanted to be another puzzle piece into what they had. And hopefully, I can give my knowledge, my leadership, and give it to these young players. So when I retire, they can pass it along. So I feel like they're young, but I also feel like they're a great young. They don't need too much coaching and too much leadership. They kind of figured it out themselves, and I'm just hoping that I can add to it and make basketball a little easier for them, and as well they can make it a little easier for me.
We'll go to Tony.
Tony East with the next. DeWanna, you mentioned the impressive second half of this team last year. You also went against them in the postseason. What stood out about the group in that setting, and in what way did that influence your decision to come here?
I just think the fight. The first game, of course, I feel like it was a little bit of a shock, and the way they came out the second game, all we kept saying was like, no, we can't take it back home. We can't take it to Indy. We can't take it to Indy because of the crowd. But the way they came out and fought and almost got that second game just shows the type of players that they have and the vision that they want to go to. And me, I want to win. I'm a winner. I feel like that's kind of been where I am my whole career, and I don't see myself taking a step back. And I just feel like just adding to what they have that we can take this thing to a different level.
Yeah, Chloe Peterson, Indy Star. I have one for both DeWanna and Steph. Obviously, DeWanna, how did Steph coming here impact your decision? And then Steph, just what does she bring, or what did she bring to Connecticut that she can also bring here?
I don't know if Steph had much of an impact more than Amber and Kelly, honestly. Steph kind of just let me, sit back and make my own decision. She's just been a great friend for me and a great mentor for me, and she took my game to a different level. Her and the coaching staff at Connecticut. So I feel like I have best seasons in Connecticut with them. Just learned a lot under them. So of course it was just going to be like, okay, I don't have to learn the whole new system 15 years in. Like that's kind of crazy. So that kind of impacted my decision there. But I think it was more so Amber. I've been with her for 4 years. Every year that she's been in this league, she's come after me and made me feel important, made me feel like I'm going to be well taken care of, and I trust her and I trust the vision of this franchise. So I'm just lucky to be a part of it 15 years in. A franchise that's growing so much for women's sports.
Yeah, I think from that standpoint, yes, I wanted DB to be able to feel free from the pressure of us when she was making her decision, because it was a difficult decision. She knows us, and I say us because it's not just me. Like, our staff is I feel like one of the best staffs, if not the best staff in the league, and because we understand how to work well with one another, because we each have strengths that are the other person's weaknesses, but we also are highly focused on putting our players in positions to be successful. So we didn't really have to sell DB on that. She knew kind of who we were, and we're a collective kind of one, right? But as far as wanting DB here, that was a no-brainer. She is a Hall of Famer, number one. She is a great teammate, number two, and she's a tremendous leader, and it doesn't have to be vocally, it's by example and everything that she does. You don't play this long at this high of level in this league without understanding on a daily basis what it takes to be great and what it takes to be successful. And so just being around her, our young players can learn about that. And I think the second thing is she fits where we are. She fits how we want to play. She fits the personnel that we have. I love her reference of being a puzzle piece. We have a young core that we're building around. She doesn't have to, we don't have to run her through the ringer like we've had to in the past. But it's a huge piece because of her ability to do what she does on the floor, and because of who she is in the locker room, and because of the wisdom that she can present to our team on a daily basis.
James Boyd, The Athletic. DeWanna, you and Caitlin had a moment in the playoffs last year, pretty formal, but how do you think that competitive spirit between you two can push each other? And then secondly, how do you think it can fit with her, just complimentary-wise on the court, play style?
I'm glad you asked that question, because my inbox has been going crazy about that moment, but I think it's just two competitive players that want to win and push their team to get over the finish line. It's playoffs, so emotions are high, tension is high, but I couldn't be more excited to step on the court with Caitlin. We actually had a great workout this morning, and I think we just feed well off each other. So I'm just here to hopefully, give my little leadership advice. I don't feel like I need to push her to be any type of player that she isn't already is, and I'm just happy to be here, and I hope that I can give her some knowledge to take her game to a different level. So when I retire, she can pass that along, to other players. Coming to this league is not easy by any means, and especially her path, but to see what she's already done for this league and in this organization is kind of insane, and you don't see that a lot in rookies. So hopefully, like I said, I can make her life a little easier. Not just her, the whole team, but hopefully she can make my life a little easier.
Reggie Edwards, Indy Sports Daily. There is a lot of buzz and excitement around this team right now, similar to last season. Coming in, I know this is your first day officially in Indianapolis, but how much time have you had to talk to your new teammates, the ones coming in for the first time, the ones still here from last season, about really what kind of damage you guys can really do as a new team?
I don't think you can really talk about that. It's a process. We haven't been on the court together yet, so of course on paper our roster can look great, but it's going to take what we do in this practice gym, outside this practice gym, how we stay locked in, as Steph said, keep the main thing, and it's a process. We want to be better than we were as Steph says, I got this from her too, but better than we are in May, in June, in July. You can't really think about winning a final or a championship. This league is tough. Every game is going to be tough. The league has changed so much, so it's going to be a building blocks. Can't get too high, can't get too low, and once the team come around and everybody gets together, it's just starting from ground zero. It's a totally different team, and can't really focus on, people saying we're going to win a final or go to the finals. It's going to be what we do in our goals.
DeWanna Brown from WRTV here in Indy. Amber made the fine wine analogy about your career. What about the last couple of seasons? Has your game evolved that you're producing at this level this many years in?
I think she's just telling my age a little bit, honestly. No, I think I just stepped in, this coaching staff just put me in positions to score. I feel like I don't have to work as hard to get to the basket, just coming off a simple down screen and, getting an easy shot, or playing with a dynamic point guard and put you in a position to score easily. So playing with Kelsey and Lexi Ho and AB, it's just going to be, easy to score. So I just think coaching staff just put me in the right position, giving the ball at the right time, and just making the right reads, just taking my game to a whole different level.
DeWanna, Alexa Ross, CBS 4 Fox 59 here in town. This regime has talked about wanting to be the epicenter of women's sports in the country, if not the world. Having been in the league for as long as you have, what does it mean to be a part of that, and just where there is so much excitement? Has it really kind of sunk in what that means yet?
Oh man, no, I think I'm getting the impact now. When I signed in Indiana, I was telling Amber, can you guys hurry up and make the announcement, because my inbox was like, are you joking? Are you really coming here? Or they thought it was a prank or something, but just to see all the love and all the support that I've gotten from all the Indiana fans, it has been amazing. And I'm just honored and blessed to be in this position to even be able to sign to a franchise like this in year 15. I don't think people in the league get to even go, past 3 or 4 years in the league. So still being wanted and still being able to play right now, and just coming to a franchise that's growing in women's sports. And I mean, look at this. I walked in, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I've ever been in front of this many, media people before. So I'm just blessed and I'm just honored to be here, and hopefully I can put out the product that everyone deserves here.
Back to Chloe and then to Pat. Yeah, Kelly, you talked last week about wanting to protect the locker room. Just how does DeWanna, the person, fit into that locker room culture?
I'll say this, the little competitive fire that went between these two that's a match made in heaven. When you have a group of players that are that competitive, and that is the one thing about DeWanna Bonner, I know for me, that I've always put number one when I was looking at her to add to a roster, was she is incredibly fiery, competitive player on every possession, and consistently is the same. So, when you're looking at who do you add to the culture of the locker room, and what do we want from that, it starts with, do you love the game? Do you love to compete? And how far are you willing to go to just win the next possession? And that's what she epitomizes. And that's why we knew from the beginning that's the kind of player we wanted to add. And then the person, look, Amber's known her since she came into the league as a person. I've always known and heard about who DeWanna Bonner was and is, and that was an easy decision.
Kelly, when you think back to early in DeWanna's career, you guys had so many battles back and forth with Phoenix. I'm wondering what this is like for you to be able to be on that side of things for so long, and then now to be able to bring her back now.
Sitting on this stage with her is way better than playing against you. So, it started in 2009 when we went to our first finals, and the other person that was wearing number 24 was going up against her that played for us. But all the years, the thing about DeWanna is, she's the most consistent, competitive, versatile player. Really, if you just look across the league, I've been involved in almost all 28 years, and there's really, she's at an elite level, the top of the top. So to have her sitting here as we build into this next future and this next era, this is a big day for us. We just got better by signing her.
DeWanna, when did you did you have a quiet moment where you were like, okay, this is what I'm going to do next. This is the team I chose. And can you take us through that process?
Oh gosh, it was a process, let me tell you that. It's funny because I kept texting Amber okay, give me one more day to think. Give me one more day to think. I said that 5 days in a row. And they were so patient with me, and I'm so thankful for that, because it was such a big decision for me and my family. So I actually got a couple text messages from my teammates now, and I'm like, okay, I wanted to make sure that they wanted a vet in the locker room, because it's different when you have a vet on your team, and the goals, the drive, and the leadership is different. So I got those text messages, and I'm like, okay, I talk to my kids, and they're like, yeah, Mom, Indiana. Like, let's just leave Indiana. You're right there, because I'm usually away from them when I'm in Connecticut for 4 or 5 months, and I maybe see them once. So I knew from the beginning that all the lines kind of connected to Indiana. I mean, the position, the basketball they play. Steph and the AK left and then came here, so it was just kind of like, all right, I knew it, but it was just like, should I do this? Should I not? Should I do this? And then I call Amber and I'm like, all right, I'm in. And yeah, tears flowed a little bit, and yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Amber, can you describe kind of your conversation with these agents and these players, the fact that with you guys on the rise?
Oh, she's good.
But also the fact that you're not only getting calls back, but now you've already signed 2 veteran champions.
Yeah, you know, relationships matter in this league, and I've learned that from mentors of mine like Kelly. You know, through the years, getting to know people and just being honest and transparent through the process. You know, sometimes you get the players, sometimes you don't, but it always comes back around. And I think for, you know, DB in particular, I mean, there is that personal relationship there. So I think the trust between us, the trust that she has in Steph and her staff, hopefully made that decision a little bit easier. But, you know, it is a process, and there's a lot that goes into every player's decision, and we respect that. And again, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, and we've been fortunate this offseason to win a lot of them.
DeWanna, there's been some talk of Tamika on the stage here. Your paths crossed early in your career. Maybe how was her influence on your young career when you saw a vet like that translated to where you are now?
Oh man, Catch is great. She's all time great. She actually helped me a lot in this process. And not just saying like, oh, come to Indiana. Just like, what do you want? What do you need? And I talked to her a lot throughout this whole thing. And she's just someone that you can go to who's level-headed and understands this process a lot. And I'm just like, Catch, I don't know what I want. I just want to win. That's all I kept saying. I want to win. And she was like, okay, what else? And just being able to go to her and reference to her, and I'm like, okay, if I sign on this dotted line, you got to make sure you help me become a better leader. So that was the one thing that we've been talking about, and ever since I signed, and she's checking on me every day, and she's telling me, you know, things to do, because she did bring a championship here, and I'm hoping that I can lead and do the same thing. But she's just been so great, and I'm so appreciative of her throughout this whole process and her journey in basketball. So she's definitely someone I'm going to lean on heavy to understand, because it's another level to this leadership thing that I feel like I want to learn. I'm always trying to learn, so I'm just very appreciative of her.
I kind of have the hypothetical follow-up to that with Aaliyah Boston, in just kind of teaching Aaliyah and getting a lot of look what she can do in the front court and what you guys can all kind of do to work together. And I guess Steph joined in with that as well. How do you think that marriage will kind of be, and then also obviously with Natasha's addition as well?
I'll start. I think first and foremost, you know, AB benefited just last year from better spacing, and even more so now with the pieces that we're adding. And you think about, you know, DB and her ability to play multiple positions, her ability to continue to stretch the floor, to help players see the little nuances in the game, and in different ways, right? Like you've got, you know, certain people who can communicate with players in different ways, and DB's always really good about how she communicates with players. So, you know, taking that next step to nuance. Players don't always want to hear it from coaches, so hearing it from teammates, and especially teammates who have done it at an elite level for so long. And she's played with great post players, she's played with great perimeter players, she's played with the greatest, right? And so, you know, I think having her understanding and her communication style is going to be important. You know, I think the other thing for us and AB is continuing to put her in positions to be successful. And Amber has addressed that with the players that we brought in. We're going to continue to get better. You know, our job as coaches is to find those right combinations that play well together on the floor, find the right rotations that we can get the most and be the most efficient throughout the course of 4 quarters, throughout the course of the season. And that's going to be our challenge in training camp. But I can tell you what, like sitting up here, thinking about the pieces that we have, knowing the options that we have with the versatility in this roster, we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's funny, because AB was the first person I talked to, first player that I talked to about Indiana. And I just stopped there in her tracks. I'm like, what do you want out of this season? Like, what do you want to be this season? At the end of the season, what AB has, like, what was your resume? And I'm like, in order for us to be great, you have to be great. You have to be the best center in the league this year. And then she's like, yeah, that's what I want to be. Like, I want to be that. I want to work towards that. And I'm like, well, do you know how to get there? Do you understand it? So we just kind of had a conversation about, what it is that she wanted and what she needed for me to get her there, because I just feel like she can be very dominant. I feel like she has another gear in her that no one has seen yet, and I'm hoping that I can help pull it out of her, and she has one of the best years of her career.
DeWanna, obviously you've done a lot in your career, head to Hall of Fame, obviously, but at this stage, like, how has your dreams maybe changed after accomplishing so many of them, and what keeps you, I guess, hungry for more?
I want to win a championship. I want to win another championship. I want to get back to the finals first and foremost. I got there and I lost, and it's such a sucky feeling, and I haven't forgotten that moment. And I want to get back there. I want to win. So I'm a winner. I've always been a winner, and there's no greater feeling. And even if we don't get back to the finals, I still want to win. I want to win every single game I step out there, and I know that's impossible in this league. You're not going to win them all, but I just want to keep getting better and better and growing, and keep this fiery competitive spirit that I have. And once it goes out, I'll be done with it. But I'm so excited to step on the court with this group. I think they have a mentality that is just amazing. I think they are hungry. And that was my one thing. I want to play with a hungry group. I want to play with some players that's going to come out. You don't have to coach them to, go out and get after it. So I'm just hoping that I can come in and, no, I know I will. I'll come in and be the player that I've always been, and add on to what they already have, because I don't feel like I need to do much with this group.